Good morning. I thought I'd give you a different view of the sunroom today. This is what I look at when I sit. If you watch our daily doses, the wall is over there. So this is a nice view. Even as the flowers are starting to fade, you can just see a few of them in the background. So I think maybe I'm going to do lessons at sunrise on Saturdays. I don't know. I really loved doing them during my retreat and feel like I took a lot from them. So if nobody else is, that's okay, because I am. So we'll just see. I was up this morning. I'm behind on my 21-day meditation. So I don't know, 3 or 4 days. But today's centering thought was, today I remember to be grateful. And I both love and feel bad about that idea. I love it because it's so important to remember to be grateful. I mean, what it says is true. It's easy to take our lives for granted. It's easy to forget to be grateful for, morning Bessie, to be grateful for, your house and your health and your job and your life and your warm bed, and start the list and you could go on and on and on and on. It's easy to forget that and to take it for granted and to think about it not at all. But it makes me sad because what a shame. What a shame to maybe have woken up this morning and to have had your first thoughts be oh, I'm up too early, or oh, I've got so much to do today, or I'm cold, or I'm hot, or I'm hungry, or whatever, and to not have taken a second, a moment, some time in gratitude. So I'm going to encourage you today to take some time, and I'm going to encourage you to write it down. You know, Oprah is a big fan of the gratitude journal, and I've never kept one. I'm not a journaler, despite the fact that I think I should be. You know what my problem with journaling is? What the hell do you do with all those journals? Who wants them? I mean, if you're being honest in your journals, do you really want somebody reading them after you've died? And if you're not being honest, what are you doing? So journaling is a chore and a challenge for me because I don't quite know what to do with the physical journals. And I don't really want to be an online journaler, although many people would say, really, Dana, what do you think your blog is? So whatever, maybe I am a journaler and I just haven't acknowledged it yet. Anyway, take time today and write down on a scrap of paper, on notes, in a book, on your computer, wherever. What are you grateful for? And really, really dig down to the minutia. Like, I can tell you right this minute, I'm grateful for my tea kettle. I'm grateful that I'm married to someone who introduced me to a kettle, because we used to boil water on the stove, which takes forever. And I don't know that I even knew kettles existed, these little electric kettles. I love mine. I use it 1,000,000 times a day because I drink 1,000,000 mugs of tea. So I'm grateful that that's boiling right now and that I'm gonna go make my second big cup of tea for the morning. I'm grateful for my sunroom. Do you know I bought this house because of this room? My realtor and I walked in. I bought this house in August. We tried to get in the front door and it was locked. So we came in the back door and we opened the door, and this sunroom smelled like my grandma and granddad's porch. And I said to my realtor, this was 2 years into looking for a house because my budget was so little. I said to my realtor, I'm gonna buy this house. And she said, what? And I said, this house smells like my grandma and granddad's sun porch. We walked into the sunroom and I said, oh, I'm absolutely buying this house. And she said, well, that's great, but maybe we should actually look at the house. And I said, we can, that's fine. I hardly care. This is my house. And I never wavered, and it became my house. So I'm grateful for this sunroom. I am grateful for this 21-day meditation I've been doing with Jennifer Nash, and then for the people who I have shared it with who've been on that journey with me too. I'm grateful. This is funny. I'm grateful that I found Prose shampoo and conditioner, and that my hair, I mean, it's not, this is out of bed hair, but my hair is so soft. I really love that. Because some of you know that when Dr. Mary and I started Daily Dose for like 3 weeks, we talked about my hair every day because my hair was terrible. I'm grateful for my stylist, Crystal. So I've only had my hair cut once, I think. Yeah, once since March. And it was probably 6 weeks ago now. And I don't love my hair right now. It's kind of a weird length to me, but I'm grateful for this shampoo and conditioner. Funny little stuff like that. Even though she makes me crazy, I'm grateful for this girl. Let me see if I can pan to her. Can you see that girl? She makes me truly crazy because she's super needy and she doesn't know she's a dog. And I have to let her in and out 700 times a day because I'm better trained than she is. But I'm grateful for her, and I'm grateful for the 13 and a half years that we've had her. And I'm grateful for live streaming. Something as silly as live streaming. I don't know where this is going exactly, but I'm trying stuff, and I'm grateful that I have a platform and a place to try stuff. And I'm grateful for people who watch it. So then I'm also reading this book for this class that I teach. I'm rereading this book, Creative Careers. There we go, Creative Careers by B. Jeffrey Madoff. I came across it this summer. If you want to know more about it, I wrote a blog post about it that I really loved because there's so much synchronicity around how I ended up with this book. But it just asks some really great questions. So I want to ask you these questions and challenge you to think about them this morning. What are your core values? What drives you as a person? I can tell you I'm still working through mine, but unequivocally, the word integrity is the single most important word in the English language to me. If you don't have integrity, I don't care what you do have. I don't want anything to do with you. So that is one of my core values. I come to my work with integrity, and I expect it of others, and I immediately remove people who don't have it. So what are your core values? So I'm working through mine, but integrity is right at the top for me. What did you love doing when you were a kid? What really excited you? And how can you bring some of that back to what you're doing today? And if you're not doing what you loved doing as a kid, you're probably not actually pursuing your passion. So can you find a way to do that? It doesn't mean you quit your very stable day job. If what you loved doing was making mud pies, and today you work for a major company that has stock options and paid vacation and healthcare, I'm not sure you should quit that to go see if pastry making is your passion. But are there ways that you can start doing that on your off time, on the weekends? Can you take some vacation time and pursue it? Because I can promise you, if you loved doing it when you were little, it is a piece of you. When do you feel most connected and engaged with what you're doing? And again, this isn't about quitting your stable day job if that's providing you things that you need and or want. It's about finding and making space in your life for the things that make you feel most connected and engaged. And then this is my last question for you to consider today. What does freedom mean to you on a personal level? Not a big global, political freedom, economic freedom, but what does it mean to you on an individual, personal basis? So if you followed and read anything that I wrote while I was on my retreat, you know that time is the single most important aspect of life to me, because you can't get it back. You can restore relationships, you can make money, you can move into stability, but you can never get time back. 47 years and 9 months of my life have passed, and I can't get a single second of that back. So what am I doing with the time that I have? Good morning, Flossie and Matt. What are you doing with the time that you have? I read an article yesterday from a new woman that I met who hasn't owned a TV in 14 years. And she calculated based on the average, she lives in Europe. She calculated based on the average amount of time how much time she has saved herself to pursue other things, and also how much money, because in England you pay a yearly TV tax, and then you also pay to have additional channels. So I can't remember exactly how many years she saved herself. It's something like 5. That's a lot of time. What could you do in that time, if time matters to you, besides just mindlessly watch TV? And I'm not saying that there's not value to some mindless TV watching, because I do it too. But these big questions I think are interesting. And, in this upended, unstable, crazy time, you kind of do have the opportunity to try something new, to upend your rhythm, to disrupt your routine, and see what is what. See what you want to do. So think about those questions. Spend some time in gratitude today. And then if you want to work even more on this, last Saturday I talked about this Personal Systems Disruption Weekend Retreat that I'm hosting, November 13th through the 15th. Well, I've completely revisioned it because I've gotten feedback from some people that was great. I so appreciated it. I'm trying all this new stuff, and I'm putting myself in a really vulnerable place because rejection is high, and rejection's hard. Luckily, I'm an actor. I'm used to rejection, but it doesn't make it easier. But I completely revisioned it. It's much less actual Zoom time. It's much less money. So if you go to Eventbrite, you will find the information. And it's really about shaking up your own routine. So there will be meditation pieces, because I do think there is tremendous value in stopping, in settling down, in getting calm, and in going inside. So we're going to do a little bit of that. I'm no meditation guru, so we're not going to do hours and hours of it. But I am learning so much as I'm going through this 21-day meditation. So we're going to do that. We're going to do some writing. We're going to do some visioning. We're going to do some sharing. And I think it's going to be really, really excellent. So I hope that you might consider it. Eventbrite, Personal Systems Disruption Weekend Retreat, if you're curious about it. And if you want to know more, of course, you can always reach out to me. But again, just to wrap this up, take some time today to remember to be grateful. And I want to really encourage you to write it down. And then think about the big questions that I asked, and really, really figure out if you are living the passion that you want to be living. And if you want to pursue more of that, you know where I am. Have a great Saturday. Fall is coming. There's good and challenging to that. So, happy weekend. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you soon.